Good morning, everyone. It's September 21st, 2022. It's just the market opens, and I am here to sit on the sideline. We do have a news coming up this afternoon at 2:30. Um, Powell will have that conference meeting, and for now, we are gonna be on the sideline. Yeah, it will be hard to choose a direction of where the market is heading since everyone is anticipating that news. So I'm watching BCAN. Nothing really much forming today. Um, Gap down does not have a lot of conviction. JD does not have a lot of volume. 500,000 for plug, but not the typical high volume ones. FREY had gap up more than 8%, and this one has a float of 89 million, so it is not a low float stocks. It did had that move already, but it's so weaky, so I don't want to touch that. SYRS does not have a lot of volume, just 500,000. Piton is in that range. MRO had got up more than 2%, but not a lot of volume. RBLX only has less than 200 million or 200,000 shares. COP, not a lot of volume. So as you can see, there's not a lot of volume for today. Everyone is anticipating that news this afternoon. So I will sit on the sideline and wait till this dust to settle. So MRO. Travel sectors were very volatile yesterday. Market is dropping for now. It already moved from that 386, but let's see, it did open and now about to reach that yesterday's close. A little bit of a pullback in the market. I'm gonna watch Tesla as well. It had been very active, as well as MU, since there's not a lot of volume with the one that I'm watching right now. Piton. So let's see MU. So MU. Let's do Tesla here. MU is almost on that all-time low. The only thing though with this is it already bounced from 49.7 to 50.51, almost a dollar move. Yesterday's close to that lower wick is acting as a strong resistance there. The market is weak, so that can influence this one as well. If I'm just gonna start a small position here. Stop loss is at that break of that VWAP, which is 50.27. So a lot of selling here, a lot of things have turned red, including Apple. There's not a lot of conviction for MU to move higher. So moving my stop loss to protect, just to lower down the risk. Roblox, I touched that. Is that all-time low? Not really all-time low. This can also be a bull flag that is a failed bull flag, which looks like it. EVN, looking to have that gap fill. MU, not a lot of volume here, so that can still consolidate at this level. A lot of volume as well on the bid side, so that's very bearish. Now looking at my list, taking a look. Plug is getting a dump here. Just broke that yesterday, broke that VWAP, still trending lower. No signs of reversal. JD opened lower, so not really inclined for an upside. Chopped. We can. So only MU is the one that's still trying to consolidate here. So yesterday's close is acting as a very strong resistance here. I'm waiting for this a pop on this. MU, okay. MRO is forming this 9. Just moving this stop loss right here. MRO is forming a wow Roblox. So let's see MAU. MU could probably just setting up a good add on here. I was looking for a 9 EMA for MRO, but it looks like this one is weak. It can pretty much be a gap fill strategy for now. Adding to a position there. I don't like that it's showing lots of reds there. What is the SPY doing? SPY. Another stab here. So for the MU, what triggered me to look into this stock is one of the tech stock that had been oversold for a while. Today is actually the low of day, touching that low of day. The last one that we were close to this level was back in July. So it might be pretty much due for a bounce today. Um, Yesterday's close is still acting as a very strong resistance. I don't like that there's not a lot of volume, not a lot of traders jumping into this trade. But as soon as we break that resistance there, that can catapult and yeah, that can serve as a good opening range break. Looking at SPY is heading higher, so definitely things are starting to turn here. So 1590, let's see. So don't like that it's not getting that pop. But markets are popping, so that should help this one as well. $50.85. Yesterday's at 50.90, serving as a very strong resistance. Lots of red here, so lots of resistance. People are still on the sideline. 50.89, 80, 90, 90. So this one is heading to 97. We need to break that 51. Lots of pullback here. Resistance there, 50.91. Let's see, 50.85. So that range right there, we're stuck on that range, 82, 85. Yesterday's close is acting now as a support. So let's see, 50.80 now is acting as a support. Once this one is broken down, then we will expect this one to head like parabolically low. And yeah, we do see those 50.78, 80. Stop loss, it's 50.76. But we do have that yesterday's close as a support there. So let's see if we are gonna see a pullback versus the 15 minutes chart as well as the 5 minutes chart are both very bullish. So I like that, but we do have that strong resistance there at 50.90. So let's see if we get to see 50.78 here. Looking at plug, um, not really the A plus setup, but it did try to hit that. This one is showing some signs of weakness. MRO is forming a 9 EMA in the 5-minute chart. So what I like seeing here is that 5-minute chart forming that hammer right there. It did touch that yesterday's level as well. So this one already had gap at the open. So it had that bullish bias here, but will it keep that 9 EMA as a good bouncing point, or as a good at this point, since it pulled back, a reversal point? So I'm trying to look at for some entry here. Taking some partial here. Updating my stop loss. MRO, it just broke the 9 EMA, so there's not a lot of conviction about this heading higher. So just that broke the pattern. DVN. Float is 646 million. So this one, if this gives me a reversal going long, then I will ride this. Still watching MU. CHOP is a weak stock today. Very tight stop loss here. So I added to my position here. So now I have 1,000 shares for CHOP. MU is still, I'm adding to my position here. Just because it's so strong. Moving my stop loss all the way up here. And CHOP, stop loss is right here. Just the body here because it's too high. Roblox has that good rejection right there. But I just don't like that it's so weaky. CHOP got me stop out. It was a false breakout there, or breakdown. Moving my stop loss. So CHOP, yeah, looks like it's actually about to break the yesterday's close. So very strong. So I'm staying out of CHOP. So now that I'm pretty much in the money on this, I keep adding on this and just moving my stop loss. Just building up my position, moving my stop loss. So this one is so strong. Just looking at the pivot points. Yesterday it closes low on that pivot point, and it touched that below that pivot point as well, below the S3, and just ripped all the way without turning back here. R3 here and R4. R4 can be a very far target point, but we can definitely, see some pullback here. Just because we do have that overextended now. And yeah, the 15 minutes is heading to that R3 level as well. So to protect profit, just gonna looking at UAL. UAL still has there's no support right here, so there's no signs of reversal there at all. COP has a float of 1.2 billion, so not a low float. 798,000, so not a lot of volume there. Now looking at the spread, I have like 35, 38, so 0.03 spread. Not the best, and yeah, it does not look like it's done heading lower, so not gonna touch that. And here we are with MU. MU is just so strong today that it just did not look back. Still heading higher. Looking at COP. Not a lot of volume though. What I like about MU is there's like 5 million volume right here. So this one, yeah, it might have some sellers here, but it's still not heading. So Roblox look like forming that inside bar. Yesterday's close is acting as a strong support there. 15 minutes is not as clean. Look at how big those wicks are. MU just got me stop out. Looks like it. Yeah, head for a pullback as soon as it head to that R4. So this one is a hard for a reversal just because it's so strong. So I'll let it go. What I'm looking now is, let's see, COP, not a lot of volume here. Roblox. Acting, let's see, is that an all-time low? It did manage to go to and close to that all-time low. Well, not really all-time low. The low here was back in June 2022. This one low here is back in September 1st. 2 million shares, 47.49, so 2 cents there. Trying to see whether this one is done moving higher. Yeah, this is a very risky spot because you can short this one, but you can get short squeeze. It has a short bias because it opened low, but short squeeze is very risky. So yeah, I better not touch that. UAL showing some signs of reversal here. We did have that high volume at that. So let's see. Looking at the market and seeing whether it's heading high. So UAL, one of the airlines. Hands on the trigger, trying to see whether this one is gonna form. The only thing that I don't like is I'm just looking at the 2 minutes chart. But I do like the volume. And this one can have a tight stop loss just because of that body right there. So 31, 36.31, 31. Let's see, looking at the level 2, that was a false break there. So yeah, although my hands are on the trigger, it did not give me any signs of reversal. So yeah, this one is not done breaking down yet. COP. I will enter if this one breaks 113.5. 38, so 0.02. Not a lot of volume, but if it breaks 113.5, then I can consider heading along on this. Let's see. Roblox is just chopping around yesterday's close, so I don't like that. Not a lot of volume here, so that's kind of like put me on a sideline. MU now is pulling back. Doesn't look like looks like just people taking some profits. Roblox chopping people around. Oh, not a lot of volume. This one, okay, we are on that consolidation. If it breaks 36.32, then I will be interested in this. Looking at SPY, of course, SPY is doing nothing. What are the other travel sectors been doing? Let's see, NCLH. Okay. What was this before? Okay. So travel sector NCLH is also heading lower, so No conviction here. Piton is bouncing. Still on that consolidation. Roblox eventually. There's just no follow through. Piton. I like that it bounced at S4. Could have entry could have been at 9.37. MRO 2574.01. Acting as, let's see here, I bail out on UAL. Did not really enter it yet because yeah, it's still on that consolidation. Piton is nice. 9.43. 42. So entering here. Okay, so building a position here. Stop loss would be the loss of 9.37. Building a position. Stop loss is 9.37. Let's see, so looking at pivot point, we're under that pivot point right there. It did went all the way to that pivot point, but did had that support on the S4. Bounce up there. $3 million shares, not a lot of volume for this stock. What I like here is that it's respecting that S4. So that's why I entered it in that 15 minutes S4. Chopped, eventually head higher. Oh, UAL is still consolidating. MU is just like the time was the trade of the day. Look at this one. Did not even look back. So with that, let's see. It's having that VWAP 9.51 as a strong resistance there. So let's see any imbalance right here. Let's see. Imbalance is there's not an imbalance here. What is the market doing? Nothing. When I say nothing, just because look at this daily chart, it's just going in and out of that. So just that range right there, 386, 385. So that $2 move, which is nothing compared to its usual, move. So today is not super bearish yet, but we're not really making a lot of $9.52, $9.58. That's a big order right there. So expect a pop. 9.58. That's a strong ceiling right there. So just lightening up my position here, just because it is having that VWAP as a strong resistance there. Prey eventually broke out. MRO, did not give me a trigger because it keeps going just slow of that. I like COP. COP has a float of 1.2 billion. We have this consolidation 113.50, so 0.02. I'll be interested in 113.57. Looking at the volume, let's see if it's gonna trigger. Yeah, it still has that. $987,000 shares. So although my hands are on the trigger, I'm not pressing it yet, just because it doesn't really give me that entry. Okay, so looks like we're heading higher. The plug is heading higher as well. Hands on the trigger. But it's having that resistance at 113.50. 44 now. So it's very weaky from 50 to 40. So with this, you would wanna lower down your shares, because it can just go up and down with 15 cents. So I don't like that. Let's see this. Float is 646 million. Consolidating there. Yesterday's close, acting as a strong support there. What is my 1.5 million shares? Just building a position here. So this one is a sector, is mining sector, okay. But what I like is yesterday did showed us that hammer, and that low had been yesterday's close, or that it closes right here, but yesterday's level acting as a support there. But that's why I put a tight stop loss as well, so I can bail out of this in case it does not give me that move. So So I'll move this one. If it loses its 9 EMA, then I'll be out of here. So today what we're waiting for is the Fed, whether they're gonna do a dovish, hawkish prediction. So adding to my position here, just building a position. That R3 in that cam is acting as a strong resistance. So that is 65.62. Moving this higher. So let's say 65.62. 65.62. Strong resistance there, 65.62. No imbalance here in level 2. Thing about this is it tried to touch the yesterday's close, but it was strong that it... Okay, so this can be a false breakout right here. Just trying to trap the long, which is I'm part of. So 65.5, let's see. $65.50 right there. So yeah, it will touch that, and I might just get step out on this. Let's see, did it get absorbed? 65.50. 65.50, still sitting a big bid right there, so that's very bearish. 65.50. Let's see here, level tape, still have some 65.63 there. So I put my stop loss right here, the low, or when we break that 9 EMA in the 5 moving average, or sorry, in the 5 minutes chart. That 65.62 acting still as a strong resistance. So let's see if that breaks it, which we did, 65.65, then we can head to a good run here. Okay, good. Let's take some profit there. Moving stop loss here. MRO. Wow, MU is just ripping higher. COP. This is the breakout that I was waiting for, which it already did. So let's see here, MRO. Yesterday's close, acting as a strong resistance there. MU is just not looking back here. UAL, this is the consolidation that I was talking about earlier. So here I am gonna take some profit, moving my stop loss. moving it all the way up. COP already had that move, I missed that. And UAL, looking at this pie, still not doing anything. If this one goes above 36.29, I'll be interested in doing a long here, just because we did have that 36.25 above that 36.32. 6.32. I'll enter it. 36.32 if we have 36.32 will be my entry, and there's just tons of resistance there. Wow, look at that wick right there. Okay, so MRO already went above. If this comes close to 25.76, I will, give me a good entry and I will enter this one. So give me a pullback to 25.76, which is 25.77 right now. So entering a small position here. Okay, 25.75. Tight stop loss. Still under consolidation. This one is a false breakout. $35.26. Entry is 36.30. See, 36.27, 25. Okay, entering this. Stop loss 36.13. There's the volume. That's the volume that we were waiting for. Short squeeze as well. Okay, moving my stop loss now. JD as well, showing that signs of reversal. What are we doing here? Good. 56.64 was a good entry here. Moving my stop loss, protect profit. Roblox. Can be a short, but very risky. HKD. I don't like the price movement from 104 all the way to 88. That just one candle. Wow. Very risky. Chop. This is the short bias that I'm in. Building a position here. Stop loss. It did break the R3, but we did see that rejection there. But this one is not really a great conviction that it's threading lower, but we did see some pullback as well with the market. So that's why I have that short bias. I was short biased here to begin with. That's why I shorted it here, but I got step out and it was immature or premature short. So now I'm stabbing another stab here with that pivot point line there as my add on to my thesis. So let's see the level 2. We have 16.36. $77, $76. I need for this to flush, but we do have that moving average as well, acting as a resistance there. But this is a scalp trade right here. This can pretty much be just a short squeeze. Lowering down the wrist here. $3 million actively being traded. So we are on that. Waiting for a flush, but of course it's not gonna be that giveaway, always going to be in that consolidation. So struggling to go down. Volume is about the same. Looking at what the SPY is just playing with us today. Look at this range right here. Just from that, no one will make money out of that. Well, not day traders. I like that it's going below the R3. MU was the trade of the day. Look at this, how clean this one is. $16.72. Lowering down my wrist. So the tendency to get step out is higher here, but it has been consolidating. So I don't want to increase my risk on this. If I get step out, then that's fine with me, but I just don't want to get short squeezed. So 16.72 is the one that serves as a good support there, which is right there in 9 EMA in the 2 minutes chart. So there's some build up here in the bid, which is very bearish. And yeah, if this one gets filled, 16.72, which is piling up here, then that can open up there, like can break, and that can head lower once that support is broken. So now looking at other stocks, UAL just made that move. I need that 1672 to break that 16.72. We are trying, but 16.68, there's a big bid right there. So that's 1600 shares, but we are still on that consolidation. Plug had been a good, well, it was an inside bar, so not really that interested. Oh, come on, chop. Just go down already. What is this SPY? This is what the SPY is doing, just playing in that VWAP. Okay, I like that we opened below that 9 EMA, and it's open below that 5, but man, still under that consolidation. If this breaks again that cam, then I'm all out. see that moving average and then that daily chart acting as a support or resistance there. We did see a 15 minutes that had been a bit overextended, but who knows what the market is gonna throw us at this point. Lots of greens here, lots of volume as well in the size. Okay, might got missed about 16.8, 16.83, a lot there. Adding to my position here. So this is the breakdown that I was waiting for. $15-minute chart, very bearish. We did touch that cam at resistance R3, and I'm expecting this one to go back to S3. That S3 or yeah, 3 is acting as a strong resistance here, but it does not give me that conviction yet that it's done heading higher. Just this big candlestick right there. So I'm gonna wait until it settles down a bit. So what is, let's see, Roblox, yeah, just on that range, R4 and S3, so nothing, not a lot of volume. Yeah, so just looking at the gap down, gap up lace, not moving at all, not a lot of volume there, so not interested. Low price, this one, 7 million, very, very low float stocks, 2 million shares. So for this one, I just like watching it, but yeah, not gonna play. So I guess I'll end up with my trade for today. I just don't see anything at all, and let's see, and it's 11, so I'll end my trading for the day. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab some breakfast, so I'll end my trade here. We do have that news at 2:30, so looking forward to that, but until then, this one is just gonna be on a chop fest, and I don't want to be included in that chop fest, so I'll just leave it be. Okay, so to begin with, I traded chop today. Chop was a bit of it's a challenging trade. So I started first, I shorted it here because I was short bias on here because it opened low. So yesterday it closed at 16.4, and then it opened lower than the yesterday's close. So I was short bias on this. So I shorted it here, but then I got step out. So I shorted it again, and added to my position, and then I got step out. Now it's still heading lower, which I missed, but I reshorted and was able to have that move from 16.68 to 16.60. So it is just that up to 16.54. It's a scalp trade, but with that, it was enough to give me a 305 profit on that DVN. The DVN was on my gap up list, so I was long bias on this. What I was waiting for is an entry for me to have it to the long side. So yesterday it closed at, let's see, around 65.09. So today it opened at 66.85, so higher than yesterday. So I was long bias on this, but it just had no love on it and just had that sell-off at the open. So I was waiting for a 9 EMA, which I was a bit late to the party. So I entered here, added to my position, and cover all the way out there. So I got very short profit on that, 127.20. And then for the MU, what I did was, MU was the only thing that's strong at the open today. So yesterday it closes at 50.76, although this one could have been my breakdown play, but the reason why I have a reversal trade on this, which is, if it closed at 50.75 and opened at 50 or 49.73, although it opened lower today. But I was looking at the daily chart, and what the daily chart have shown me is that 49.75, which is here, was actually the low for a couple of days, months now. Let's see, so I'm heading all the way back here to what the chart is allowing me to do. And even back in 2015, we haven't touched that low yet. So it is just on that low of day, or low for that couple of years. So I was long bias on this. So what I did was I went long here, added to my position, just building my position here, added to my position, got a little bit of a move, and then moved my stop loss to break even, which got me stop out. Again, it was so strong, so I re-entered, got the move, moving my stop loss to break even, and got me stop out. Again, I entered, and then got me, I did, took all and my shares here and sold all my shares just because it was overextended. But that's the thing about not partialing, because if I partialed here and moved my stop loss to break even, then I could have ridden this all the way to 52.08. But that's the pros and cons of partialing versus just taking all the profit. But for me, my thought process was this one was a bit overextended, so I was out. So with that, I got 1100. And then for Piton was, let's see, from yesterday, looking at the 15-minute chart, it closed at 9.65. 9.65 went all the way to 10.48, and then it did open lower from yesterday's close, but I was long bias on this just because it had been respecting that Camarilla pivot point S4, that support there. I saw in level 2 as well as the tape that there's a lot of buyers stepping in. Sure enough, we have that trending higher volume, so I entered there, added to my position, and then with that move I just went out and moving my stop loss to break even. So I did here with that confirmation of that, a bit of a looking hammer, but if you can see here in the 5-minute chart, we did had that pop and then entered here, building position, and then all the way out at the VWAP. The VWAP was a very strong resistance at that time, So I did took out all my shares and I did miss that move right there, but it's, yeah, that's why I only got 30 bucks there. Now UAL, what UAL did was for the 15-minute chart, it closed yesterday at 38.15. Now today had that continuation in it on the pivot points. So it's very bearish. Pivot point here, still very bearish because it's below the R3 and S3. So what I did here was I was waiting for a reversal. I did not see and was not able to monetize on that move, on that going lower. So I waited for a reversal. So the reversal is this 5 minutes doji right here. I entered above the body of that and with a very tight stop loss, which is right here. So entered here and then took some partial, and then I did see and got scared with this inverted hammer. So I was all out right here. So with that, I got 170. So with that trade, so if you can compare it from that daily chart, it is a very small move, but I was not doing any, home run today, knowing that we do have a news coming at 2. So everything was just a scalp trade. And with that scalp trade, I'm done at around earlier, which is around, before 11, like around 11:05, I was done with my trade. And with that, I got 1800. So I will call it a day and stop trading because at this point, everything is just on that range. And I don't want to get stuck with a range where I can get just chopped, because not a lot of volume today. Everything is just on, or everyone is just on the sideline waiting for that news that is coming at 2, depending on what Powell will say this afternoon. So I'll finish my trade early today, but I might come back at 2, just kind of see what the news will do in the market. And with that, I hope you had a green trading day, and I'll see you in the next one.